Alright, so we have our PCB board. Back side, front side is copper, and we have the printout of this circuit. And now what we have to do is cut this circuit according to this. So let's do that. Alright, so the circuit is cut. Okay, so we have these portions at the ends. This would be useful when we tape this on this. So because we cannot tape this where the circuit is drawn, otherwise that part is not patched up on the PCB. So now let's tape it up and let's see how it looks. Okay, so what we have to do is put this thing like this. This is the copper side and this is the back side. On the copper side, let's put this thing like this over here, and let's tape it from here, 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 and there. Alright, so I have taped it from one side, and as you can see, you have to do is that. Okay, so make sure, if you can see the circuit, this is the circuit line, and I taped it on the top of it. So make sure not to tape the lines, so that would be good. Alright, so it is all taped up and good to go. It will not move now. And now what we have to do is put a blank white paper on top of it and tape it as well. Alright, so we have a blank white paper, and what we'll be doing is that we will put this on top of this and we'll fold it and we'll tape it. So we have taped it here, and similarly we'll fold it like this and this, and make sure you fold it with all the strength and not to make it loose from anywhere. So now let's tape the rest of it. Alright, so it is all taped up and this is the final look. And now what we'll do is we'll put the page under it and we'll put a page over it, and we will then iron it. Now what we'll do is we take one blank page and another blank page, and this is our PCB, the one we made, and we'll put the PCB over to another blank page, and then we'll cover this with a blank page. Okay, so now we have the iron, and now we'll start ironing it, and we will have to keep rotating it like this a little bit, not too fast. Slowly make sure all the PCB is getting all the heat, and you keep doing this for about 15 minutes, and just keep rotating it slowly so the heat is distributed equally to all parts of the PCB. After a bit you will start to see the PCB maybe over here, so that will help you in distributing the heat equally. So after 10 to 15 minutes, and then you will take this off. Alright, so we are almost done with it, and if you can probably see, you can see the PCB, the printout of the PCB, the shape due to the heat. And now what we will do is we'll take this whole thing up and we'll put this in clean water. Alright, so we have here water and clean water, just tap water, and this is our hot PCB. It is quite hot. Now what we'll do is just dip this whole thing into this water. Alright, so this is a bit cold, and then we can take this upper layer and the bottom layer out, the one we just put on, and we can just leave this like that. Alright, the upper layer is gone, so we'll leave this like this. But you can see probably the writings because the paper was not blank. It was only blank from the back, it was not blank on the other side, so that just got printed. It's not a big deal. So if you get a blank paper on both sides, you will not have this issue, but this doesn't matter because this will come off. Okay, so now we will leave this for about 15 to 20 minutes more, and then let's see what we do. Alright, so after washing it off, the circuit is a bit removed, and most of it is pasted upon the PCB, and now the removed part we will redraw it using a permanent marker. Alright, so let's see how we can do that. Alright, so we got a permanent marker and we have our PCB, and the paper we draw, we have our circuit as well. Or yeah, I put two of the PCBs to utilize this space as well. This is receiver, this is the transmitter, and Yeah, in the start I only showed this little part, and this upper part I also edit that one as well before ironing it. Alright, so this is our PCB. Now we will like look into this, and we'll see which wires are missing. Like we can, as we can see, that this top wire, the top wire here is missing. So we will draw this top wire using this permanent marker. So, and all the other connections that are missing will draw using the permanent marker, and let's see how it looks in the end. Alright, so we have clean water, and we have iron trichloride, and we're gonna mix some of it into this, and make sure that we stir it to distribute the chemical. And what we're gonna do now is that we will be putting our PCB into this chemical. So let's distribute it first. Alright, so we're going to put our PCB into this. Alright, so let's do that, and make sure this is fully dipped, and make sure that you keep on stirring the water. Otherwise this process could take more than a day. Well, if you keep on stirring the water, it will be ready within 30 to 40 minutes. Depends on your stirring and the chemical you put in. So we'll just keep that in mind for the next 30 minutes, and let's see how it looks in the end. Alright, so now as we can see probably that most of the copper is off. Only some points at the boundary are still on because these were taped, and the tape didn't come off. So now what we'll do is we'll wash it with clean water, and then we'll take this black ink off. Now let's wash it first. Now what we'll do is we need a perfume. Any perfume would do the work, and some tissues, or better if you have a Scotch-Brite or something that has a rough surface but not too rough. Alright, so now what we do is spray this perfume onto this board, and this black ink will start to come off, and then we will remove it using the tissues. So now let's do that. Now as probably you can see, the ink is starting to come off. And now we'll remove this ink with the tissue paper. Now let's do that and clean the board.